Hey, how y'all doing? It's Wednesday, July 6th, and 2022. Today I have to discuss about what's going on the media right now. Kinney, several other counties on Texas border declare illegal immigration and invasion and want Greg Abbott to act to end the surge. Uvalde, Kinney, and Goliad counties in a town called Brackettville. That's what they're concerning. In a town called Brackettville over in southwest Texas, they're declared some of the less populated cities and counties are facing major safety challenges and need more resources. So they're asking Governor Greg Abbott to step up once again. They say that they're thankful for the money that was filtered in through Operation Lone Star, but they say that these numbers they simply can't keep up with. So what they're asking for specifically is for a declaration of local state of disaster. Okay. And then the other counties need to step up to request that the governor of Texas talk about the border as an invasion. Okay. Now, this is what an attorney of the Kinney County says. His name is Brent Smith. Some people have to say, well, you haven't described what an invasion is. In the declaration, the number speaks for themselves. Tell the rancher, we're not being invaded. Tell the lady driving on the highway, she's not being invaded. Tell the citizens in Kinney County, every county on the border, that they're not being invaded. I think they're going to beg to differ with you. Now, right now, there's just a petition for the governor that there's no change of authority that the counties have. You know, what they want is change. What exactly that is they don't know what that is. What exactly does that look like? They don't know. It's to be determined. As of now, everything stays the same. Okay, all of those things were warning signs of corruption. And what I mean is, back up to the top, less populated cities and counties are facing major safety. It turns out, major safety challenges. It turns out there's only 8 deputies and a couple of Border Patrol, 8 drivers, Border Patrol cops, and a couple of DPS, Texas Department of Public Safety officers there. The only thing that runs across my mind is, still? I mean, last year, this is the same thing that they were claiming last year when Operation Lone Star first started, that there was only 6 deputies and no other cops. Now, a whole year has passed, and there's only 8 deputies and a couple of guys from Border Patrol and a couple of guys from the Texas Department of Public Safety. This is supposed to be an invasion that they're talking about, and they're being invaded. You know, you had a whole year to beef up the law enforcement. And this is what we got, 8 deputies. But they're demanding money. They're thankful for the money that was filtered through Operation Lone Star. They didn't really say what it was, but I'm going to guess it's in the hundreds of thousands. And I'll explain why later. This is the claims that they're saying is a declaration of local state of disaster. Their game cameras record them trespassing. And there's property damage and theft. Like what? Their game cameras? Everything except the game cameras that's recording them walking through. And for the record, if you look it up on YouTube, Kinney, several other counties on Texas border declare illegal immigration and invasion in quotations. Those very same game cameras show just a couple of guys walking across the field. Okay? Nothing being stolen. Nothing being destroyed. Okay? They're saying their jails are overcapacitated. That very same interview, that very same news report shows empty cells in a small hallway. Okay? The law enforcement, the guys that are in the county jails, now granted, they are small county jails. They're nowhere near as big as any kind of city like San Antonio's. But there was nobody in their cells. That's the problem. That's why we can't believe this crap. They said there's claims of violence, all this crap of violence. Now, technically, the only videos that they show of the migrants in any kind of actual action where they're dodging the police and stuff is when they're running away. They show footage of a guy pulling over to one side, and I've stated this before, and those very same video footages of the cops' dash cam keep coming back up. They show footage of a guy tuck and rolling and jumping out of a moving vehicle that their trafficker was driving. So in other words, the driver who was trafficking them at least had the decency to pull over to get off the road, go over to the side of the road where the immigrants had to be forced out while the vehicle was speeding down the road, while the vehicle was still in motion. They had to tuck and roll and jump out. Okay? One of them, a car flipped over, and 5 illegals, 1 traffic and 4 migrants had to be airlifted. The complaint was that it cost $40,000 for every life flight. Okay, for every chopper ride, for every helicopter bringing up a patient and taking them to a hospital, it costs $40,000. And he's saying, do you realize how much that cost? Well, yeah, you just said $40,000. You know? And I seriously doubt that's what's going on the entire time to insinuate that checks of hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not $1 million, needs to be going to your county. Because you're not exactly airlifting everybody now, are you? And if you are, well, that makes the leader a fool. It doesn't mean that we should be following along with their crap. These are the same complaints that they had last year, with no physical evidence of property damage. There's physical evidence of them climbing over fences. Not a single wire cutter, not a single bolt cutter breaking the chains. They show them climbing over the cattle doors. For those of you who don't know what that is, to keep cattle inside where barbed wire fencing can't be placed, but where cars can drive in and out, there's these pipes that are laid on the ground, and right outside of those pipes is a metal gate, a metal gate door that swings out, open, and close, and all this good stuff. There's not a single power tool, there's not a single sawzall, metal grinder, metal cutter. There's not even a hacksaw being used to do that. The file footage shows the migrants climbing over that thing and walking over those pipes that makes the cattle slip because they don't have any grip underneath their hoofs. So cattle usually avoid that entrance and exit doorway fence with the cattle fence, okay, the rancher's fence line. There's not a single tool being used, but every single rancher, according to Kinney County, every single rancher has fences and doors destroyed and property damaged and all this stuff. Okay, and violence, all this violence, there is no single footage. Anybody comes up with violence, somebody's already got the phone recording it. Not a single confrontation recorded. Not a single confrontation recorded through police reports either. Okay? All you have are just representatives, council people, and deputies. 8 of them. The only 8 that there is over there, saying that there's all this violence. There's violence and chaos. They liked using that word also. Chaos, like there's total anarchy and all this other crap. Ranchers that have actually had to deal with this stuff can give you testimony long before this massive migration thing took place, can give you testimony of migrants that they did have to shoot at. Okay? None of them are coming up now speaking. None of them. Only these representatives and attorneys and representative speakers and council people and the 8 deputies that are doing that. Okay? So how much money that they're going to be getting through this requesting of the governor to sign the declaration of local state disasters? Well, A county over at South Texas named Kennedy County, that's with one N, Kennedy County was granted more than $700,000 by the state. Yeah, it's a little county with a small population. And the judge there, that's representing for everybody, fifth generation resident Judge Chuck Burns, says he has an expense of recovering dead bodies of suspected migrants, that his small county has to pay for body recovery. An autopsy, and this is his words, and his particular accent, an autopsy and whatnot, the numbers can skyrocket very quickly. Skyrocket for an autopsy on suspected migrants. Now, this guy claims Kennedy is like heaven on earth when it's raining, except it could be leading to flooding, and that could kill a lot of people. And when there's drought, it's hell on earth, meaning you could die of severe dehydration. So, an autopsy on this can have the prices skyrocketing. Okay, I'd like to point out right now, an autopsy is a medical thing. A body recovery is a cop thing. If not a medical thing, because if they call for an ambulance, then it's a medical thing. Both of those have two separate accounts. So I don't understand what he's talking about. Doing this one thing costs way too much money. Doing something else on top of that skyrockets the thing. But apparently it was sold so well that he got himself $700,000, more than just a little over $700K by the state, our tax-paying dollars. He asked the state for money from the Operation Lone Star grant program funded through the legislator. Okay? So everything that takes place has to be charged tremendously, and any additional task that is being done has to be skyrocketingly charged. Okay? Here's one of the quacked up things, which leads to Chris's conspiracies. I'm going to try to form a Chris conspiracy segment. Burns said later on, after I gather more evidence, Burns says that the way this grant works, he has to get reimbursed from the state for his expenses. The county goes through the gruesome task of counting the bodies of suspected migrants it is handled to get paid back for that expense. Do you get that? In order to get $700,000, he has to bring back a number of bodies, dead people, whom he hasn't disclosed as to how many that is, and he has to count them and claim them in order to get paid money for doing his job. He's already getting a paycheck. The police there are already getting a paycheck. The medical people are already getting a paycheck. But in order to pick up the dead bodies of migrants that have either died through floodings or have died through heat exhaustion, he has to get paid through Operation Lone Star. That's how he legally gets $700,000 of our tax-paying dollars. Now, here's another thing. This was a report that I saw on YouTube, so it already passed. This was 5 months ago, for crying out loud. One of the comments in there said, "This is the same issue that we've got in Kinney County." In Kinney County. He says there's a section of dead migrant bodies at their local cemetery. I wonder how many thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, which is the reason why I said earlier when I was posting about this, how much do they get? I'm pretty sure it's in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is why I'm saying that. Because of what's going on in Kennedy, who actually told publicly that he got $700,000 for his small county, his small populated county. I'm guessing 8 deputies also, and maybe one doctor. $700,000 for that community to pick up migrants that are already dead. Or are they? This is another part of the conspiracy, because it completely reminds me of money for scalped heads, money for scalps. That's an old West term back in the Cowboys and Indians days, when killers, or rather men paid to remove current residents, were paid by the number of scalps that they brought in for the new landowners. Now, a little bit of time has gone by, and this fifth generation Chuck Burns to that land is getting paid to report the dead bodies, supposedly through floodings or droughts. Okay? Supposedly flooding through droughts with no autopsies, because if they did an autopsy, the prices would skyrocket. It would cost way too much to do an autopsy. So we just got to take his word for it. Yeah. And then, according to somebody that made the comment, this is the same issue that they're going with through Kinney County. The same guy with the same people, speakers, the same county with the same guy that's a speaker that's saying there's an invasion going on. We're being invaded. There's property damage. There's stuff where people can't drive on a highway. There's violence. People, I'm just a guy, as I've said before, I'm just a rideshare driver with the only physical evidence of a GED as a certified education, certified valued education. Okay? That's what I got to my name. But even I could see the bullshit corruption. Excuse me, the BS. I forgot, this is YouTube. If there's an editor, please X out the BS part. Even I could see the babbling bullcrap that's going on. The babbling BS of corruption that's going on. And all I got is just a GED to my name as the only proof of a valid education. I mean, people, $700,000. One guy admitted that. One guy in Kennedy County. In Kinney County, none of that information has been disclosed yet. But we can all see that it's pretty good business, when it's pretty damn profitable to make these wild claims of violence and chaos and property damage and invasion. Oh, that's a very big profitable way to go. And it's off of our tax-paying dollars. And it's off of whatever tax-paying dollars of the United States of America that our governor can get after suing the government. This is what he does, as I've stated through previous posts. As what every reporter, as what every commenter, as what every opinionist, as what everybody who's witnessed this crap, who's written a tell-all book, this is what they're saying. I'm not making any of this up. I'm just relaying the information. I'm getting all this information and data that's going around, and I'm spreading it to you. I'm sharing this with you. I'm not making any of this up. You don't got to follow me and believe me. You can see for yourself. You can see for yourself. It's Kinney and other counties on Texas border declare illegal immigration and invasion. See for yourself. Look it up. It's on YouTube. You don't even have to read the article. You don't have to read an article. Just type it up, and there it is. I'm not making any of this up. I'm just relaying the message. A 5-month ago interview. South Texas County gets state dollars to recoup border crisis expenses. Defenders, the economic toll of the border crisis. Look it up yourself. I'm not making any of this up. This is the hustle that's going on right now. Okay? This is the hustle through legal programs well, declared legal, which we can all see is BS corruption, to permit politicians, our political leaders, to hustle. And they're not hustling the government. They're not hustling anybody that's bad or any kind of crap like that. They're hustling all of us. Because all of this stuff isn't being taken from global donations or some kind of crap like that. This is coming out of our taxpaying dollars. And it's being legalized through programs and policies like this Operation Lone Star thing. And it's going so well for them that they can actually declare it legally right in front of everybody on a television interview. Again, see for it yourself. I'm not making any of this up. Hey man, I'm just a rideshare driver. I don't even have any experience, let alone any access to permits to go through files and statements and bank statements and stuff like that. I don't have anything like that. If you know somebody that does, hell, ask them, do a favor. It might get them some great publicity or something. It might get them recognized in whatever it is that they're trying to get accomplished. Some journalistic credit and stuff, you know. Ask an actual journalist to do this, check the resources. I don't have any access to that. I'm just a rideshare driver. With a GED is the only proof of a valid education, and it is that simply obvious that's going on with our taxpayer dollars legally through this BS program that's supposed to be combating migrants and building a wall, but instead is funding 8 deputies in one area, 1 judge in another area, up to $700,000 of our taxpayer dollars to do nothing but well, I don't know what they're doing, because they're not to airlift people and to bury bodies that are already dead. Supposedly, we don't really know, because there's no autopsies being done. So we don't know if they were killed by anybody, let alone by residents, local residents, if not actual cops or this militia. Because, you know, militia, Texas Governor Greg Abbott he's deputized militias. He's put the star on people that aren't even in a military, but walk around like a military, patrolling the border and all this other crap. You know? And we got no proof as to whether or not they're actually doing their job or whether or not they're going as far as murdering people. We got no proof. No autopsies are being done on the dead bodies that are being collected. We got no arrests. We get very little arrests being done, except for over in West Texas, where the Border Patrol is actually doing their damn job, as I've stated through previous posts. Any place where Operation Lone Star has a reach, and we're finding out missing information, data, some U.S. citizens being arrested as illegal migrants, as I've stated through previous jobs. Yeah, I mean, they're making criminals. They're not actually capturing them. They're not capturing these bad hombres from south of the border. They're labeling bad hombres to American citizens, charging them with felony crimes over any kind of misdemeanors, a speeding ticket, a parking ticket. Some are getting deported, and they were born and raised here. Some of them aren't even Latino. Some of them are white people. I'm not making any of this up. See for yourself. So that's the deal right here. A little bit of touch of conspiracy to a claim based off of the bull crap of people saying we need it to be an invasion. We need the governor to tell everybody this is an invasion, and we need all the money that we ask for or need, or whatever we say we need, despite the fact that we don't have proof, that we don't have any file footage of any property damage or violence. Excuse me. or we don't have the fact that we don't have any autopsies that states that these were illegal migrants and that they were killed through natural causes or by way of nature. We don't have anything to provide for it, but you got to take our word for it. People, it's all about the money. Belief is the tool. If you believe this crap, that's how they're getting paid. If you believe this crap, they're gonna get paid. If any of you out there has any kind of connections to leaders that know how to stand up to them, or at least expose them legally on their level, on the political level, because I don't know the correct term for them. I know how to say corruption, I know how to say greed, I know how to say conspiracy, but I really don't know the legal or governmental lingo or policy to go by. Okay, I don't know any of that. All I can do is just share this information with you. That's all that this lowly little rideshare driver can do. You understand? If any of you got any kind of connections, please resort to them. And if any of you got any kind of testimony or shared information, don't forget I post the email on these posts, and the because I don't have a phone line. This isn't a business operation. This isn't a studio. I don't have a studio line. This is all done. This is all just shared comments on my phone during my lunch break. Again, all I am is just a relay of messages. So, yeah, I mean, if you got information to share and stuff, I'll be happy to post it, and I'll be happy to try to do my best into looking into things as well. I am not a professional journalist. I'm not educated as one. I've never hung out with them. The closest I've had to a reporter was my father back when he was working for a newspaper. He was a sports writer for the local news. He was a local sports writer, high school football, the Special Olympics. And to top it all off, it wasn't even a national Special Olympics. It's just a local gathering of special care people, communities that would orchestrate it, and my dad would report it, and that was it. But that was also 30-40 years ago. I'm already 50, and or I'm gonna be 50 soon, and I was still a little boy. I was a preteen, and I still can't even remember how old I was when he was doing that for a while. It was a long time ago, and that's the closest I've ever got to knowing a journalist. Okay, I am not a journalist. I am not an investigative reporter. I got no license or badge to be going into anybody's files, and I don't have the connections to anybody that does. Okay, and that's why I'm saying this. That's why I'm saying I'm just a messenger, a message relayer, and I'm telling y'all, I'm asking y'all if you know. I'm suggesting it. If you know anybody that can do more than just that, by all means, let them know what's going on here on this end through this show, and let them do their own, investigative and all this other stuff, tactics and journalistic investigations and stuff, because this stuff really, really, really needs to be focused on. We really need to stay on top of this. Otherwise, more swindling is going underneath our noses, sometimes in front of us legally, by way of a policy or a program issued by our state legislature, that's hurting our government, that's hurting our country, and it's all off of our taxpaying dollars. Meh. So you see the problem, and that's pretty much it right there. I'm hoping that everybody stay safe, stay cool, try not to follow any rhetoric or follow under somebody else's propaganda, because as we see through those shooters that's been going on lately, they're all a bunch of morons. Screw it. I'm going to take the time to state that once again. The shooter up in Illinois threw a manifest, and it sounded exactly like the bull crap that all of the rhetoric is, that the government is evil, the people are a bunch of assholes, and they all need to be killed. Okay? That guy is a moron. Because he's over here hating politics and politicians, but lashing out at innocent, defenseless people that are in a parade. You know, he's just as stupid as the guy previously and the others before him. Okay? Don't follow the rhetoric, please. A real good way to know this is when you read a newspaper, it says these are facts of something. This is the percentages as to how high or low it's going. And this is the probable outcome that might be coming up. And it's slightly optimistic. Okay? And then you read some other comment concerning the same subject. This is what's going on. Oh, no, it isn't. This is the percentage of how high or low. Oh, it's going way low. And this is the possible outcome. No, I don't think it is. I don't think it ever will be. Okay. That guy, you want to swipe to the left. To the left, to the left. I love doing that. You want to swipe away, and you want to stick to the ones that are just stating the facts with all the information that they can possibly put on that report. Okay? Everybody else that's saying, oh, no, this is bullshit. It's a lie. It's all a lie. And I don't think that's ever going to happen. You know, screw them. Okay? Screw them. And that's how you avoid following the bullshit rhetoric that influences you to kill. Because I remember back when Obama came into play, and the talk was somebody's going to stop him. Somebody's going to stop him because the people are fed up. You know, he hadn't even gone into office yet. He just got elected. And he says, this greed and conspiracy and this corruption that Obama has brought onto us, somebody's going to stop him. America has had enough. You know, he didn't even make it into office yet. It was still November. It was like November 8th or something. And that's the start of this whole bizwax. You know, but that same rhetoric has been rolled over concerning this subject, that subject, after Obama. This subject, that subject, this person, this political leader, that political leader, this organization, that policy, all the way up to now, to where you get some dumbass son of a rich business owner, grandson of a rich business owner, who made money himself rapping on the internet. You know, so you know he's good. You know he's not in dire straits. You know he's not in any financial dire straits. But he was under the influence of some douchebag or douchebags that's led him to believe that he has to lash out. He's that somebody that has to do something. And his thing, which I imagine is tiny, was to go and shoot at a bunch of people in a parade. And that was supposed to be his attempt at teaching America a lesson, at teaching the politicians a lesson, at teaching the greed a lesson, at teaching the people who are different than him a lesson. That was supposed to teach him a lesson? That was supposed to teach us a lesson? No. Whoever it is that follows this kind of crap and thinks that their only way to settle this is by lashing out is a moron. Plain and simple. I've said it before. I said it again. I don't give a damn how insensitive that sounds. And neither should any of you, for that matter. But you don't have to take my word for it. See for yourself. Look into his manifest. He made a damn video manifest, for crying out loud. This wasn't some crazed fan, like, you know, that did it when he tried to bomb singer Bjork with that gift bomb that he opened. It opens up and it explodes out into her face or something like that, which never got to her because he's a dumbass that doesn't know how to mail a bomb. But yeah, I mean, this was a guy that made a video after video after video, did a manifest video, went as far as dressing up as a woman, using the makeup to cover all his body ink, his face ink, drove to an industrial place, walked up the fire escape, climbed on top of the roof, shot at a bunch of people, went down the fire escape, drove away, and he got caught. And no doubt he's going to try to claim, oh, I'm insane, and all this other bull crap. You know? But it doesn't really take much to know that this guy was under the influence of some hate speeches, you know, some hate influence. It doesn't take a big genius. I'm a guy with a GED. Is the only proof of education, and I can see this. And the main reason I bring it up with this subject about Kinney County and all this other crap is because it falls under the same lines. It may not be the same tactic in doing something for their people or their beliefs. It's an entirely different tactic. It's a government, state-funded, legal tactic. But instead of killing people, yet, so far that we can tell, it's about ascertaining more money to put in their pockets. You know, the governor, the mayor of each county, the 8 deputies. You know, every council representative is coming out saying that it's an invasion. It's an invasion. Not a single resident. Every representative is saying it's an invasion. It's an invasion. Every cop, well, excuse me, all 8 cops are saying it's an invasion. It's an invasion. They've been saying it since last year. And no new cops, no nothing. They're just getting paycheck. Hell, there isn't even any military grade weapons that they're buying or anything like that. You know, they're still defenseless. They still got the minimal stuff to take on these, to capture these migrants. And yet they're still capturing them. And they're saying it's an invasion. It's invasion. We need more money, more money. We need to filter through the OLS. We need to filter through Operation Lone Star. And all this garbage. So it's a different tactic, but it's all greed, it's all corruption, and it's all hate-fueled, anger-fueled hate and stuff. And that's the message that I'm relaying. I'm not making any of this up. It's all out there. And now I'm going to come to a close. I want you all to have a good one. Take care. Keep taking care of each other. Keep looking after yourselves. Stay cool. We got a lot of heat coming on this summer. It's going up into triple digits down here. Hope you all stay cool and stay hydrated. Take care of yourselves, okay? I'm Chris with Chris's Comments, signing out.